Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live with independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Teresa Harper, located in Oregon in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me. Appreciate you being here. Let's go ahead and take a minute or two and allow folks to find us. And there's always a delay from when I hit live to when it shows up in your inbox anyway. So let's see who we have on and give everyone a moment to find me. All right. So tonight we're using the Extraordinary Flora bundle. This is a 5-piece photopolymer stamp set and a 1-piece die set. And then you can purchase separately from the bundle this washi tape that coordinates with the die. So we're going to be using all components of this set today. Remember now, the bundle does not come with the washi tape. This is sold separately, and it's currently on back order, but due in the week of June 16th. So we're going to go ahead and use it. Hello, Tracy. Hi, Cynthia. Tracy, I'm not amazing. I just decided that I was going to go live, and I'm not going to worry about the blog posts and all that extra stuff because I need my rest. So we're going to do this. And just to let everybody know right up front, there will be no Thursday night YouTube live. I've got too much going on with graduations and end of the year school concerts and all of that stuff this week. So Thursday night I am booked solid. Okay, so let's talk about the sale that went live this morning. And that is the buy one, get one 50% off all sweets and sweet products. And that started today and runs through June 30th. And of course, all items are while supplies last. So what this means for you is that you can buy a sweet and get 50% off of another sweet, or you can buy a bundle in a sweet and get 50% off of another bundle, but only if you place your orders correctly, because the lowest price item will be the 50% off item. So you do not want to purchase a sweet, 2 sweets, and then a pack of DSP from a sweet, because your half price item is going to be that designer series paper because it's the lowest. So I recommend that if you're going to purchase sweets or bundles, that you purchase them on separate orders. As long as your order comes to $72.50, your shipping at that point becomes the 11% shipping, and it won't matter whether you split your orders or you don't. Just make sure that each order is at $72.50 or more. All right? And if you have questions and you need help with that, please don't hesitate to ask. I can help you out. All right. So there is a virtual album retreat from Stampin' Up! Coming up, and that will be on July 16th through the 18th. It is a 3-day event. It goes from 2 to 10:30 p.m. of Mountain Time, and the way you get into that virtual album retreat is to purchase the month-by-month album retreat kit. That number is 167338. The cost is $250 in the U.S., and yes, that seems like a lot of money. However, you're getting 4 stamp sets, pre-cut 12 2-page pre-cut page layouts, plus a bunch of other stuff. So if you like to scrapbook, you've never scrapbooked, but you want to get into scrapbooking, this is a great way to get started. All right. And this is a picture of the contents of that virtual kit. Now I know that's hard to see, but you've got 4 exclusive stamp sets. They're not going to be offered any other way, so you either get them in the virtual kit or you don't. We've got some gems and some papers, some specialty papers, some die cuts. There is no album included. There are flip flaps and there are sheet protectors, and then you get all of your pre-cut pieces done for you. So that saves you a lot of work. Okay, so that's all the housekeeping. Let's get on with our first card. There is a lot to it. I did pre-do a bunch of it. I'm not going to guarantee where I'm at on anything at this point. My life is a little bit crazy this week, and my brain is not quite on, it's not quite on focus here. So our color palette is Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Fresh Freesia, and Gorgeous Grape. Now, I took a Cloud Cover refill, and I took the craft Stampin' Pad that you can buy uninked, and I inked it with my re-inker to get the pad. There's no guarantees that my color will stay what it's supposed to be, but you can also do a uninked Stampin' Spot and re-ink that with your re-inker, and that color should stay, because the problem with the Cloud Cover ink is that it reacts with the foam in the foam pads, and this particular pad is felt. Okay, all right, so we've got that, and again, Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape. Those are our inks. We also are going to be doing some watercolor pencil, and these are the colors that I'll be using for that. I've got Daffodil Delight, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, Pecan Pie, Gorgeous Grape, and Basic Gray. Now, these are mixed within the Watercolor Pencils Assortment 1 and Assortment 2. And then you're also going to need a color lifter and a blending brush. I'm using a fine detail blending brush. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you, let's see, I'm not sure where I'm at on this. What was I thinking here? I know you don't know what I was thinking. Oh, I was thinking I was going to show you this. So first of all, we need to do some stamping. So let's grab our, I'm going to grab my stamp positioner tool. I hope this is what I was thinking to show you, because, you know, I haven't slept a lot since then. So we're going to put this down in my Misty tool, and then I'm going to get out the Extraordinary Flora stamp. This is a one-piece stamp that I'm using. One large stamp. Okay. Whoa. Pull that off of there. All right, and then I'm going to place this single piece down here. This is a quarter sheet of cardstock, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just going to place this all the way to the edge here. Okay. I'm going to pick that up and get my cloud cover ink. And I'm going to ink that up everywhere. And it's hard to tell with this color whether you actually have it inked or not, but it's looking pretty good now that I'm putting the lid down. So I'm going to give that a good press. And I'm going to give this a little more pressure up here. It's a great part of a stamp positioning tool. Okay, then I'm going to give this a quick wipe with my chamois cloth. I'm using the one from my glass mat because it's semi-damp. And then I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to move it. Now I can do this either way. I think I'm going to do it this way this time. And we're going to just flip that, making sure that those don't overlap. But yet I've got my whole piece covered here. We'll close the door. I only need to ink half of it. I'm going to try to be cognizant of that. And this is the half I need to ink. Okay, and then I'm going to ink that again. Give that a press. And try that again. And that did not ink well. So let's ink it up again. I might need to re-ink my pad already. I didn't put a bunch of ink in when I did it because I didn't want to over ink. And I've done quite a bit of ink blending. So that does take out some of our ink. All right, so there we go. That's good. Okay. Now, while I had this all ready to go, I would clean this up. Okay, take this out, get underneath that, pull that up. Do I have another piece cut? I do, good for me. Okay, then we're gonna put this in here. We'll lift this back up. And I'm gonna put this right in the middle here. And this time I'm gonna grab Secret C. Okay. And it appears I already got Secret C on there. Yeah, this will be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Boop. Pick that up and I moved it and now I need it to go like so. Is that going to work? Yep, perfect. Okay. Okay. There we go. And now we have this. Okay. So let's get rid of this one. Clean that off. I'm not sure if I'm going to need that again, but I'm going to pull it off of here and put this away. Okay, let's see. Boop. And here we go. I'm going to throw this back in its case so it doesn't come out missing. All right. Now, what I would do for the cloud cover piece would bring in some colored pencils. I've already done most of this. I'm just going to show you what I would do. Keeping in mind that this is going to be covered in the middle, I would start with my gorgeous scrape and put a little bit of gorgeous scrape in the center of that flower and do that the same for all of the flowers. Okay, then I would add some fresh freesia, some Daffodil Delight, For this flower here, I'm going to do the same thing. Put just a little bit gorgeous grape in there with my watercolor pencil. Okay, finish that off with the fresh freesia going over the top of the gorgeous grape. And then finish that center off. Okay, for these flowers, I'm Daffodil Delight, and then a little bit of Night of Navy at the tip, followed by Early Espresso. Okay, then I'm going to take my color lifter and I'm going to start in the center where the purple is, gorgeous grape, and I'm going to work that color out to the edge and soften up those pencil lines, but blending the color. Okay. And then when you're done, that flower looks a little bit on the watercolored side. Okay. And I would do that with all of my flowers. Now, we're going to take this and grab a piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to clean off the tip until it doesn't have any color on it. And then I'm done with that. Okay. To finish this off now, I would cut this. No, I would color this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the flowers that I need for this are, I need this one, this one, this one, and where is my card? Okay, let's see. 1, 2. Okay, so we need this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so again, I would do these flowers just like I showed you before with the purple and the fresh freesia. And then I'm going to take some Night of Navy. No, this is where my basic gray comes in. Basic gray, where'd you go? Hiding from me. I had it just, oh, right here. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to color the whole leaf in basic gray. And then I'm going to go back with some Night of Navy. Okay. Basic gray. Actually, I would go through and do all my leaves that I need in basic gray. And then do the Night of Navy. Okay. And then again, I'm going to take this, start at the Night of Navy, and work my way out, blending as I go. Okay. And I would do that with all the leaves on this flower and this one, and this one, and this one. Okay. And okay, so to show you what that looks like, when I get it all done, I did go ahead and color in all of my ones. These are the ones that I need. You can tell by the color palette here. Okay, and then these ones I did Daffodil Delight and Calypso Coral with Granny Apple Green and Garden Green from the pencils. And this is Cherry Cobbler and Flirty Flamingo. Or maybe, no, Real Red and Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and this is Old Olive with the Garden Green. And these are just Garden Green. Okay, so now this, we'll take the die. Okay, and we're going to line that up that single die right there like that. And then we're going to run that through our die cutting machine. And let's see. Oh, did I not do that? Maybe I didn't. I guess we better do that because I thought I did already cut those, but now I don't know where I put them if I did. So let's see. Are they in this little, are they right here cut? Nope. Okay, well, here we go. I pre-colored them. Apparently, I didn't pre-cut them, but that's all right. So we can do it now. We'll just line this up. You've got some little holes here for the stem pieces. If you can see the stems through there, you've lined it up correctly. Make sure your outside lines up. And then I'm going to put a couple of pieces of mint tape in there. Grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we'll run that through. This could go on the mini if your paper is 3.5 inches or less. I did not cut mine that small, so this won't fit through. But the die itself will fit through the mini machine. My paper doesn't fit because of how I cut it. Okay. So now when I lift this up, we have all these flowers all cut all at once. All right. Save this piece. We're going to use it. And then we're going to move all these flowers out of the way for the moment. And we're going to go back to this sheet here that we already colored, the flowers only. And we're going to take this and line it up here like so. Okay, now pretend that our flowers are already colored. And let's get that cloud cover ink. And our blending brush. And then we're just going to put in a little bit of cloud cover ink until we like how it looks. No two sets need to look alike. You can have some darker, some lighter. I like to keep moving this so that I get a easier inking, and I don't really want to ink up the stems. So I'm just going to go like this. Okay, so you get the idea there, right? And when you get that finished, you've got this. Okay, so that's what you should look like when it's all done. And then we're going to take our card base. Please tell me I didn't do it. Man, I'm a mess. I'm a mess. I know I cut that card base. Okay, let me grab it because I know I cut it. And apparently I cut it and put it away. Okay. So now we're going to take our card base. This is Secret C, standard A2, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. Okay. Then we're going to add our Flora piece here to our card. A little bit of Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to center that up as best we can. Okay. And then we've got a piece of basic white. This piece is cut at 2 1/4 by 3 inches. And we're going to do some ink blending on this. So let's set these aside. And let's bring in our Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, Fresh Freesia, and Gorgeous Grape. Okay, we're going to start at the bottom with our cloud cover. And put a little bit of cloud cover on there. Okay. And then we're going to move to Fresh Freesia. And we're going to put some of that on there. Overlapping the cloud cover. All right. And then we're going to go Gorgeous Grape. Overlap the Fresh Freesia. And finally, we're going to pull in the Secret Sea. Okay. I'm going to go back over that with my Gorgeous Grape. I want to blend that in a little bit better. Right there at the join. Right there. There we go. Okay, I'm happier with that. All right. I love this glass mat for ink blending. Swipe it away. Okay, so now we have this piece ready for our card. Now I've taken a piece of Secret Sea and the framed scenes dies, and I've cut the frame, the wooden frame, from Secret Sea. Okay, and we're going to add this to our card base here. Center this up the best we can. Now this particular frame does cut a piece right out of the middle, but I didn't want to cut it twice. So I just cut this piece of white small enough to fit behind the frame because I figured that was good enough, right? And then I'm going to add this frame over those. Nice ink. Thank you so much, Tracy. I really do love ink blending. I think it adds so much. And I tried doing this with just a white background and I didn't like it. It was just too stark white and it just didn't go. And then I tried using just cloud cover and stamping something in the background, and I didn't like that either. And this is a remembrance card, sympathy card, so I thought the Moody Sunset was appropriate. Boy, that looks like I didn't get that centered terribly well, doesn't it? Let's try that again. I'm way high. Way high. Okay, that looks better. All right. Oops. Now let's put this down. Yes, that's much better. Much better. Okay, then we'll glue that down. Okay. And then we're going to take those ones that we colored, like so. Pick these ones out that we need, that we want. And we're going to put these around the frame like this. Okay, something like that. But before we glue those down, we need our sentiment. So we're going to bring in a sentiment from The Right Words. This is an online exclusive, I believe. No, this is in the annual catalog, The Right Words. And we're going to use Forever Loved, Forever Remembered. And we're going to pull that right here. And put that on a block. Grab a piece of white. It's pretty close to the size I need. We're going to take the Secret C. And we're going to stamp that down. Okay. And then, while that might be lovely, like so, it wasn't what I was looking for it, so I fussy cut it. And here we are. All fussy cut. You don't have to watch me do that. Okay. So we're going to figure out about where we want that. And that's going to go on like so. We're going to start with this piece and add this piece in like that. I'm actually going to trim this off at about right here so that that fits how I want it to. Kind of like so. And we'll put this in here like this. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this down because I'm getting tired of it sticking to my finger here. So we're just going to set this in here. I'm not going to really press it down in case I need to move it. And this one is going to go on Stampin' Dimensionals. But we're going to put our dimensionals lower than, rather than higher. Okay, and then I need a small one for here. A mini dimensional. We're going to stick this down. Kind of like that. That looks pretty good to me. And then we'll stick this one in here. And I'm just going to put that one in with a mini glue dot. Man, the adhesives really like me tonight. And then we're just going to stick that down in here like so. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals for here. And I think I'm just going to stick with some minis. Okay. And then, oh, wait a minute. This doesn't belong here. Oops. That's not where that goes. That goes up here. So that this goes like so. Something like, okay, whoop. Let's put this one down and then slide this one under. I feel like I fumble fingers tonight. Okay, now if I twist that just right, you won't be able to see that leaf, which is what I was going for. Okay, so what goes down here? Oh, yes, this, my little sunflowers, or not sunflowers, coneflowers. Those go in here like that. There we go. Okay, now we're looking good. Okay, you can see I didn't like how that stamped on the back. Shh, don't tell anyone. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to grab this and put it here. And I'm going to cut a real small piece. I love the ends of these dimensionals for that. And I'm going to put that right here. That will totally support my sentiment. Dimensional back doesn't want to go. And then we're going to put that right here. Okay? Now, let's finish this off with some purple fine shimmer gems. And I use the Gorgeous Grape one, so I'm going to take a large one here and put it right there. And then I'm going to take a smaller one and put it here. And another larger one and put it here. Okay? And there we have the front of our card complete. All right. So for the inside of this card, I took and used just some ink that was left over in my brushes and then put hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. And I stamped that in Secret C. And this is also from The Right Words, the inside sentiment. And there you have card number 1. Okay, so there's a little look at how that extraordinary Flora works. And I took the butterfly from Spotlight on Nature because butterflies signal change. And I colored it with the Fresh Freesia, Gorgeous Grape, and Night of Navy pencils, and then blended those together like I showed you on the flowers. And there we have a complete card ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and clean up a bit. Our next card has almost no stamping. So I want to show you how the washi tape works. So let's go ahead and clean that up and move on to card number 2. Okay, so let's see. I need to get out my supplies here, regroup, because this is the one I did yesterday before my world blew up. Flirty Flamingo ink, that's the only ink pad we're using, and that is for our sentiment. We're going to use some Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems, I think. And then our card base is 5.25 by 4.25 basic black. Not a full card, just a quarter sheet of cardstock. Okay. Then I've got a piece of pretty in pink cardstock. And this is 3.75 by 10, scored in half at 5. Okay, and this is really going to be our card right here. I'm going to attach this to this, but we have some things to do to this before we do that. So we're going to roll the washi tape out on here. Okay. And so in order to get that straight, remember this is 3.75. I put this folded into my Simply Scored tool. I took my stylus and I very lightly scored at 3.75 and at 1/4. Okay, so basically each end a 1/4 inch on the front, not on the back, just the top. You're very lightly scoring. Okay. Then I'm going to take my washi tape, which I have bread tags on mine to keep it from rolling back. And then I'm going to start this. Now this piece is 5 and this will cover 5.5. So I have a little bit of extra. I'm going to line that washi tape up on my lines here. My score lines that I put in. And then I'm going to lay that down and fold that out and hope I've got it straight. And just press that down. Now, the washi tape is forgiving. So if I don't have it perfect, I can lift it up. But you know what? That's perfect enough for me. Now, this little flower here is the last flower on this pattern for the die. So I'm going to take and cut this with my scissors. You could rip it, but I didn't want to waste any. So now I have a full pattern for my next project. Okay, and I'm going to put my bread clips back in here. Now I'm happy with that placement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm going to give that a good press and make sure I don't have any wrinkles in there. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this over. And I'm going to cut my scissors right at the top of that. Just right along the edge. And actually, you don't even have to open and close because the scissors are sharp enough that they'll just cut it. Okay. And of course, it's washi tape. It's going to stick to me. Pick off my fingers. All right, stick to that. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this over on the bottom. And I'm going to do the same thing. Just going to run my scissors right along the edge of my cardstock and shave that off. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I have a good press at the bottom of that and at the top because I want that to really stick. All right. So there is the front of our card. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and add this to our card base. Pretty easy, fun fold here. And we'll just center that up as best we can. Okay, give that a good press. All right. Now, I've taken from that same die set I showed you earlier, the framed scenes dies. I've cut this oval in basic white and this oval in basic black. When I cut my white oval, okay, I wanted to have this ridge here. So while it was still in the die, whoops, okay, while it's still in the die, take your stylus tool on a flat surface and just roll that around that ridge. You can feel it. Put some pressure on it, and then when you're done, you'll have that. Okay? So I've pre-stamped that with the Thinking of You because this Thinking of You is very tight. So you'll want to stamp that first, then put your die around it, because if you don't, it's not going to fit. Okay? So we've got that. Now let's add that to our black piece. And actually, let's go ahead. I'm going to put this black piece back in my die. On my flat surface. Take my stylus. Oops. Got to make sure you keep it in there. Hold it tight. And then you'll have those same markings on your other piece as well. Okay? Now what that does is it makes it really easy for you to center up this oval. So we're going to take this and glue it down to the black piece. Okay. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, which I apparently put away. We're going to add this piece to our card, about here, a little low of center and to the right. Make sure my Thinking of You is semi-straight. Okay. Then, when I was rolling out my washi tape, I also took and rolled out the same color onto a piece of basic white. And then I put that through that die, and now I have these pieces. Okay, so these are the washi tape added to a piece of white, basic white. And I want you to see the difference between how it looks with the petal pink and how the white looks. And then I'll show you my first card because it's in the purple pattern. Okay, so we've got this. Now let's go ahead and grab some of these. We're going to put these up here, and I'm going to grab this one here, I think, and we'll put this down here like so. Okay, we want those to stick. They're not going to lay there flat because we pop this up, so we need to put some mini dimensionals here. And it's important because the tape doesn't stick very well to washi. So we really need those glue dots to help hold that. And then we're going to put some liquid glue on that part. And a little bit down here on this part. Then we'll pop those off. Stick this here because remember, now we're gluing to this, and the glue dots or the dimensionals are basically just holding that up, okay, away from popping it up. And if they don't stick real well, it doesn't matter because we have it glued to this piece. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with this one. But before we do that, we're going to bring in our gold striped mesh ribbon. It comes like this. It's a 3/8 inch striped ribbon. I cut mine in half. I just ran right up the middle gold line there. And so that made me 2 pieces. This one happens to be the one with the middle line in it. And then we're going to tie a bow. And I think, did I do it like this? Yes, I did. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my bow jig, give that a tie, because this is how I make the best bows, and definitely the easiest way to make the bows, for me anyway. And then while it's still on here, I'm going to separate my layers. Make sure I give that a good press. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to glue it to the black because it doesn't stick, the glue dot does not stick well on the washi tape. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to stick it in here like so, and then I'm going to go ahead and give myself a dimensional down here to give that some lift, and then I'm going to glue that to the sentiment oval and lift that up, stick that right under there like so. All right, and then we'll trim these up. And we'll add our gems. And that washi tape will make us a relatively quick card. So let's grab those strawberry slush gems. Strawberry slush and pretty in pink. And let's get this. And I don't want to stick my gems to the washi tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these darker ones. So they're going to look the best. And I'm going to stick them to the petal pink on the card here. And then I'm going to take a small one, stick it on the black here. And then I'm going to take another one of the small ones and stick it on the petal pink. Stick that there, I think. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then I'm going to bring in the tip of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to give those a press down. And there is the front of our card. Okay. And then we have lots of extra pieces left from what we did to make more projects. And you will see some of those coming, but not this week. Okay. All right, so there is that card. And then for the inside panel, I'm going to take, and I'm just going to add this in. I Didn't do anything too fancy with this. This panel is 3.5 by 4 3/4. But I am going to take this flower right here, put some Stampin' Seal on it, and add it to the inside just to make it a little bit prettier. Okay? And there is our envelope. This uses the Sharing, Loving, Caring. This is an online exclusive. I love this for making quick envelopes. When you don't have any single stamps, like this one, you either have the great big stamp or you have sentiments. It would be hard to do that. So I just took the just to brighten your day and happiness inside, and that's how I quickly and easily made my envelope more interesting. Okay, so let's bring those back in. We've got that one and this one. And those are our Extraordinary Flora cards for tonight. And I tried to show how you can use the die as a stencil and watercolor pencil technique, and then just using the washi tape itself. All right. Oh, thanks so much, you guys. I do love the black base with the, oh, wait a minute. I want to show you the purple version. Almost forgot to show you that. So here is the purple version from that washi tape. Okay, I did this in Bubble Bath. I put this one on Bubble Bath. And then, of course, this is the basic white. And then pretty puddle pink with the basic white. So you can see how you can do difference. I have seen some people use Pool Party. I was kind of wondering what it would look like on basic beige, but I didn't get there. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'm so happy that you were here. If you like my video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And I will see you again next Tuesday night at 7 right here on Facebook. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I appreciate it. Good night. Thank you for the hearts.